We fight!
Hey, welcome back to RBB. Have you ever seen one of those YouTube video titles like The 5 Reasons You Should Never Own a Glock? Or one of the other perennial favorites, I just got rid of all my Glocks and here's why. Yeah, they're stupid, but let's face it, we've all clicked on those videos before hoping that there might be something that we would learn that would help us in the future. The truth is, here at RBB, we don't care what gun you carry, and frankly, most people can't afford to sell all of their guns and go off and buy some other brand anyways. But as far as Glocks go, the truth remains that the Glock has earned the respect for being the most durable, the most reliable, and the ugliest gun on the market. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Glock 48. And ever since it stepped onto the scene back in 2019, it has lived in the shadow of its little brother, the Glock 43X. And that's because most people have preferred the concealment of the 43X over the 48. Now that makes a lot of sense considering that they are the same grip length and they carry exactly the same amount of ammunition. Why not try to carry that in the smallest package possible?
Second, what really sets the Glock 48 apart from the 43X is the length of the slide and barrel, which translates to 0.78 of an inch longer, or just 3/4 of an inch on the 48. The 48 also weighs 2.02 ounces more because of the additional mass.
So it therefore makes sense that people carrying the same amount of ammunition would want to carry it in the smallest package possible.
However, I would say that there should be a distinction between carrying these two models of guns and shooting them. The Glock 43X, for example, is a snappy gun to shoot. While it is still manageable, its size and weight are right at the edge of what is generally considered controllable for rapid follow-up shots. Simply put, if a shooter is counting on adrenaline to carry them over the finish line in a fight, that might not be a great defensive plan. This is where that little bit of extra weight in the slide of the Glock 48 comes into its own. Now, I'd be overselling the point here if I stated that there is a vast difference between the felt recoil of the 43X and the 48, but the ability to set up for quick follow-up shots definitely favors the 48. Now, someone will undoubtedly post in the comments section that attaching a weapon-mounted light on your Glock 43X will add more weight and will accomplish essentially the same thing. That may be true if you leave it there permanently, but keep in mind that since the muzzle sits slightly behind the light, you will get more carbon buildup. As well, you're going to have a harder time finding holsters to fit the entire setup. On the other hand, you could also attach a weapon-mounted light to a Glock 48 and even further reduce the recoil by having more weight up front. In addition, that extra 3/4 of an inch in slide length of the 48 translates to a longer sight radius. So, more simply put, if you were forced to rely on iron sights in a fight that was at the outer edge of what you trained for, or heaven forbid, even farther, all else being equal, your accuracy using a longer sight radius could have a better chance of hitting their mark. And this is where that we can start to correctly categorize the Glock 43X. From a law enforcement standpoint, the 43X is set to become a classic backup gun. Smaller officers may prefer the more simple Glock 43, but the 43X is a formidable choice for most.
And that leaves the Glock 48, which could best be described as either an off-duty law enforcement pistol or a private concealed carry pistol. Again, RBB doesn't do the if I could only have one gun to carry all the time type of videos, but if we did, the Glock 48 would be a very serious contender for that choice. And as many people already know, there's a lot of companies that are making magazines that fit the Glock 43X and the Glock 48 that hold a higher round count. That includes Shield Arms. Palmetto State has just come out with a pretty decent magazine. But to be honest, I don't blame Glock for making just a 10-round magazine. Like it or not, the Glock factory mags are stupid reliable. And what continues to happen over time is more companies are filling the void with higher round count magazines for the 43X and the 48. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you right back here next time on ranges, backstops, and berms.